The end of life is such an important time. I'm so grateful to Barb and Greg Trum that they saw the importance of this. And Barb, has been a long time volunteer. She was a volunteer for my mother when she was in Catholic Hospice. And she just has that incredible vision that sees why this is so important. And for them to use some of the gifts that God has entrusted to them to create this space to help people with a residential Catholic hospice. They are a treasure of the Archdiocese of Kansas City and Kansas.
Just spend any time with Greg and Barb, and it's about faith. It's about their family. Greg is, to me, he's an inspiration. Just being around him is a blessing. Barb, she's done this for a number of years, and just some of the stories that she would relay to us that she went through when somebody had passed. She just so valued the opportunity to spend time with somebody that was going to see the Lord. You try to surround yourself with people that are good for you. Those two people are good for you.
When I think of Barb and Greg Trum, I think of the word service. They both have just tremendous hearts of service, and especially when it comes to Catholic Community Hospice. Barb Trum, she accompanies the dying, she sits with them, prays with them. And Greg Trum, he's the kind of person that would do anything for anybody in need. Mother Teresa said, "The Jesus in me serves the Jesus in you." And Barb and Greg really have that ability to see Christ in the people that they serve, and in the helpless and the dying.
I got to know Barb and Greg Trum primarily through Greg's participation in our permanent diaconate program. From the very beginning, he and Barb really impressed me as people who are just so magnanimous. They do a lot of great things for the church, but it's never about them.
She has a special heart, and she knew that this was a ministry that she wanted to do. And I knew right away when I met her that this was her. Barb's first experience with her sitting with the dying, when I called her, I said, "I've got a retired priest." And when she walked in that room and she stood at the foot of the bed and she pictured that was Christ. That was Christ on the cross. And she just wept. And it was just such a moving and emotional, overwhelming experience for her. And I truly believe when she sits with the dying, that's what she pictures. This is Christ.
Mr. Greg and Barb were really a gift for us, many ways. Right from the beginning, they had an inspiration to construct that hospice wing. When Barb visits the resident, I noticed that many times she gives her presence as the Jesus visiting them. That is what I could feel, that when she visits the residents at the bedside when they are at the point of death.
It was such a great honor to be at the dedication of the Our Lady of Grace Hospice House. But just their love for the dying, the great dedication they've had to that ministry.
Barb and Greg really have a beautiful charism, I think a gift from the Holy Spirit, to move in communion with Him, in being able to see people who are often overlooked and ignored in our culture. And Barb and Greg have always been people who were able to see the presence of Jesus in every person. It doesn't matter how old or how young, how much they suffer, how little they suffer. Barb and Greg have always, as I have known them, possessed a great capacity to see and to reverence the presence of Jesus in every human life.